Yes. Okay. So we're going to start the meeting. This is for the open forum for our speakers to come. Each speaker is 3 minutes. I keep a timer. So please come up and address the board, and then we'll let the next person speak. Just need your name and address to start. Thank you.
Sure. It's Kim Whiteley, and I live at 2546 Blackburn Circle. So I have two topics to speak on, and I just kind of wrote out my notes. So the first one was that I'm here to advocate to convert the extra tennis court that is adjacent to the pickleball courts to be converted to all pickleball courts on that side. And I want to make it clear I'm not here saying get rid of tennis courts. We want to keep the other two. We're just saying to the one that is adjacent to the pickleball courts to transform that into another pickleball court. Currently, there are only 4 pickleball courts, which means there's only a total of 16 players can play at once. The existing tennis court, again, which is the one adjacent to the pickleball court, is always empty. Tennis never uses it. It's empty all the time. The lines and the nets, well, I guess the lines and the nets are not made for pickleball. Sometimes pickleball players, if there's a long wait, sometimes they'll set it up, but the lines again are off. They're there for tennis, and the nets are a different size for tennis, so it totally throws off your game. So it's not conducive to play pickleball with the current lines in those nets. Um, there's always a wait to play pickleball, and that tennis court, the empty one, is always open, always open. So, and considering that it's still summertime, well, I know it's fall now, fall, but for the last 3 months when the snowbirds weren't here, figure when they come back, it's only going to get busier and busier. So it doesn't make sense to have one empty court, and it seems like it's in the best interest of the community to have more courts, especially if one is always empty and not being used. So I took account on, I used to go play pickleball prior to breaking my foot on Sundays and Thursdays. And for the 3 weeks that I was keeping track, on July 20th, there was 21 people. And again, the max is 16. So 6 people were standing there waiting. 5 people, excuse me. Yeah, 6 people. 6 people were waiting. On the July 24th, there were 19 people. Sunday, there were 17 people. The following Thursday, 19 people. The following Sunday, 25 people. And the last day before I broke my foot, it was 16 people. So that's my concern with that. And again, I know you can't answer a question, but being the first meeting that I've come to, is there a way to add this to the agenda? I don't know how this gets voted upon. I have no idea. So I'm just here to speak because I don't know the process. I don't know if you can speak now, but I don't want that to go into my 3-minute time.
So I'll give you, so just so you're aware, there is a process for adding things to the agenda, but it has to be done prior to the meeting. And it requires a certain number of signatures to get something added to the agenda.
Okay.
If it's not already on the agenda from what's being said.
Okay.
So you got 40 seconds left.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Topic number 2, really quick. This past Tuesday around 11:30 in the morning, completely different topic. A group of boys on their bikes were on Sandoval Parkway. Unfortunately, I was the victim of their harassment. They wouldn't get out of the way for the cars. They're blocking cars, weaving in and out. 2 of them came up to each side of my car, 1 inch apart from the end of my car. One was screaming in my window. The other one's videotaping me. Um, and again, I don't want to hear they're just kids being kids. I don't want to hear, oh, you hate kids or anything. I have a 15-year-old son. I don't hate kids. I used to be an elementary school teacher, so I do not hate children. I love children, but I don't like these punks harassing people. I couldn't move my car. They were stuck in front of it. They were doing it to random people. Um, so I don't really know what's being done. I know we have police patrolling here, but the police can't be everywhere all at once. I took pictures. I reported it to Jake. I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know behind the scenes.
Time's up, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did great.
Thank you.
Okay. Next speaker, please.
See. David? David. Ladies and gentlemen, David.
Good afternoon, neighbors. I'm David Reyes. I'm from Maribel Court. To my brotherhood in the pickleball court, to my brotherhood in the tennis courts, nice to see you all. I'm here with a very simple message. I am a resident of the community for 12 years. I will follow whatever recommendations the board will come up with. What I think that we are missing is another voice. It's not just all people against these people. The community also needs to approve this funding for these changes. And whatever the community approves, I'm fine with it. I play on both courts and I have the pleasure of enjoying both sports, right? But at some point in time, we have to make that decision that we have to allow the people from the community, 1,500 residents, to say, hey, do we want to spend the money in making any changes? Whatever the community decides, I'm all for it. Okay? That's all that I have.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Eddie?
Good afternoon, Eddie Sanchez, 2045 Southern Court. I agree with what Dave just said, but in reality, when you go to the pickleball courts, we have an app, Team Reach, and we all communicate. And that app, we have over 136 members. And it is true that sometimes we go out there and we do have to wait. We do have temporary nets, which we put out sometimes, but sometimes, somebody puts it out, they might forget to put it back away. We we don't mind. I mean, there was one time last year, I think you had the same type of meeting. All of a sudden, the tennis players did show up to play tennis on the pickleball side, which is available. I wasn't aware of it, but I was there. I thought their nets were broken at the court. But it's kind of hard because pickleball, it is kind of a little loud. Especially when you have 20 people there, everybody's talking, some people are playing. Tennis player, but some of them were like, "Oh, can you keep the noise down?" We're trying to concentrate. So it is kind of hard when you're playing at the same time near each other. But it is true. They play, but right now pickleball is a big sport. There's a lot of people playing it. It ain't nothing to do nothing against a tennis player, but it's true. Sometimes we go out there and there's too many players. And then you look at the tennis court, that little tennis court next to it is always empty. Sometimes we take out the net, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we say, oh, maybe the tennis players wants to come play. But the only time that they did use it was when they had this meeting sometime last year. They always did show up, but they left the tennis courts empty. So I don't know what was the reason for it. I told them, but I mean, you're not making a good course that you need it when you come use it, but you're leaving yours empty. So whatever they decide, because I already know once you do convert it, where's the money gonna come? Because now you got to put it on the price to block the balls. So everything's money wise. So whatever they decide, I don't care. I mean, we're still gonna play no matter what. But there is too many players here. I mean, it's a big sport. So good luck, whatever decision you make.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Good evening. Pat Shanahan, Brightside Court. Pickleball is played on Tuesday and Thursday during the daytime. Tennis players play Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday during the daytime. Right now, there are 4 permanent pickleball courts and 2 permanent tennis courts and 1 dual purpose. Tennis players use the dual purpose court from November to May. Resident tennis coach uses the dual purpose to give his lessons and drills. If tennis players didn't use that all-purpose court, it wouldn't be used at all. So I'm for either making it a permanent tennis court or keeping it dual purpose. There are no tennis courts nearby. There are many pickleball courts nearby. Kennedy, Sands, Chiquita, etc. Most of our problems happen on the pickleball courts. Bad enough to cameras had to be installed, none on the tennis courts. I think that more pickleball are added, there'll be more problems. In the times that I've been playing, I have yet to see these temporary nets be set up that are available for the pickleball courts. Nets were purchased, lines drawn for the use, and they're never used. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next speaker.
Glenn Perry?
Hi, Glenn Perry, 2647 Maleta Court. I'm here with the pickleball players. I'll make it short and sweet, but it's a sport from 8 to 80, and we have so many people that want to play and always sitting and waiting. I know it's hard to come up with the money, but I think this is our future, and I think future for our kids too. So I'm all for making that another 4 more courts. And that's it. I want to say it just like the rest of us that we need something else. Like I say, 8 to 80 is the big thing coming. So, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, guys. Thank
Okay. Is that it?
you. Gina. Jeannie's the last one.
Okay, thank you.
It's kind of asked. So, yeah.
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm Gina White. I'm a resident I live on Lambay Court, and I'm a regular pickleball player. And I'm here with all my other pickleheads in support of converting the tennis court adjacent to the pickleball court to the floor. The tennis court in question is almost never used. The gentleman said that it's used, I know it's for multi-purpose, for lessons. I've never seen anyone use it. On very rare occasion have I seen it used. And if that court is being used, the other 2 dedicated tennis ball courts are not used. It's very, very rare. In fact, yesterday, speaking of lessons, I saw maybe around 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6 o'clock, there was a lesson on one of the back tennis ball courts. It didn't bother us. We didn't bother them. Everyone lived happily ever after. But having said all of that, there's very little activity on the tennis ball courts, even the multi-use court. So converting it will address pickleball demands without significantly impacting the tennis players. Pickleball is not only a tremendous amount of fun, but importantly, a community building activity that attracts all ages, including children. We see a lot of kids playing on those pickleball courts, and they are amazing. They love the game and they are excited to play. So it's really something special to see. Adults and especially seniors love the game as well. The current courts are busy even in off season. And when snowbirds arrive, waiting times can literally quadruple. The need isn't seasonal. It's a year-round requirement. And adding these courts would reduce overcrowding and allow everyone a fair chance to play. Tennis players will still have their 2 full courts, so this small change balances amenities to match how residents actually use them. This is not about taking away tennis from anybody that loves tennis. I love tennis. I'm not good at it, but I like it. It's about meeting the needs of the majority while keeping tennis still available. Thank you for your time and for considering what would make a real difference for so many Sandoval residents and football pickleball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So we'll now do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty. Okay. We're going to call this meeting to order. First with a roll call, Bill Simonelli present. John Elkins is not here due to a family matter. Dave Ott.
Present.
Dave O'Donnell.
Here.
Attending remotely. Rob Purcell.
Here.
Lisa DePatty.
Here.
Stan Toro.
Here.
We have a quorum, and we have our General Manager Chuck Keel present also, correct?
Here.
Okay. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from the August 28th, 2025 board meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second? Any discussion on the board meeting minutes of August 28th, 2025? Okay, all in favor of accepting the board meeting minutes of August 28th, 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Dave?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the board president's report. Good evening and welcome to everyone joining us tonight. I have several items I'd like to discuss before we turn it over to the treasurer. Blue Stream fiber construction crews have been working street by street to do the outside plant construction for our new internet infrastructure. The pace of construction will continue over the next 2 months as the crews work to complete all of the outside plant work. 2 community volunteers, Frank Hennigan and Val Zielinski, are providing daily on-site oversight of the construction activities. They keep residents informed at the street level and work to resolve any issues that arise promptly. If you have a concern as a result of the work on your property, please report it to using the Blue Stream Fiber contact number provided on the door hanger or in the general manager's weekly email. Then email Frank or Val so they can follow up with Blue Stream Fiber on your behalf. Just a reminder, actual individual resident service cutover will commence in the December-January timeframe after a town hall meeting on December 3rd. At that town hall meeting, all the details for scheduling your installation will be provided. The Internet Oversight Committee will be sending out updates with more information as the project progresses. Also, there are in the weekly general manager's report, there are street by street updates that Chuck has been providing in his report. Now, on an important matter of 2668 Bellingham Court, on Tuesday, September 23rd, our council filed a motion for default judgment and injunction against the owners of the property. Today, we have learned that a hearing on the motion is scheduled for Monday, December 8th. Association counsel is trying to get the hearing date moved up. However, with the current court schedule for the assigned judge, this may not be possible. I'm asking for everybody's patience as we work through this litigation process. In new business today, we have 2 insurance coverage waivers to consider and very important to the community, an up-to-date revision of the ARC guidelines to be approved. And finally, I am looking forward to the Safety and Security Committee report on traffic speed data from the speed calming signs. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dave.
Hi, everyone. Jump right into this. All right. Year-to-date income is above budgeted income. Year-to-date house sales as of 8/31 is 29. Forecast for the year is 75. If we continue at this rate, we'll be under budget by $124,000. Expenses are under budget. The reserves, popular reserve balance is $418,089. Fifth Third balance is $4,295,236 for a total of $4,713,326, and the current market yield is 3.09% or 0.4. Sorry. 2025 reserve spend is $369,399 year to date. We met with Precedent to discuss some banking options, and we can get a money market that will return 2.5%. Once we're done with the budget process, then I'm going to want to look into moving money into that account to get a better interest rate, because we currently get 0.02%. The auditing firm has finally completed the audit. They had a lot of hurdles to jump, but they kept working at it with Precedent and myself and Chuck, and we finally got it completed. There's going to have to be some adjustments made to the 2024 operating budget or operating system so that we can the balance sheet to get that in sync, and then they're going to have to go back and restate the 2025. All right, year-to-date financials. Total operating income of $3,008,000 and $528 is above plan with a budget of $2,957,037. Operating expense is at $3,000 $3,022,957. That is also below plan with the budget of $3,185,823. The reserve income is below plan. We're starting to feel the effects of low home sales. Reserve expense is also below plan. The total income is better than planned, and the total expense is better than planned. So we're in pretty good shape at this point, with the exception of the reserve income. Major expenses, utilities are slightly over budget. Contracted services includes the $65,000 for CCPD patrol that was approved a few months ago. And this will also be reflected in the income statement and operating in September's numbers. Major expenses are below plan. Other expenses, professional services. Again, this has the consulting fee that we paid for Blue Stream. When you calculate in the door fee, we're really only $14,000 above plan. All right, the balance sheet. The thing I want to point out the most here is this $343,000. That is one of the things that the auditor has resolved. So once the adjustment is made, it'll be reflected in the next statement once it's made. All right, delinquencies. Delinquencies for the master assessment, we currently stand at 134 residents that have not paid their assessment in full. This happens on a regular basis. The first quarter that the assessments are due, we see a spike in people not paying right away, and then over time it comes down. And it also, we have an issue with the special assessment delinquencies. We have 61 delinquent residents for a total of 195 residents that owe money on either master or the special assessment. Now that we have gone through all of the bumps of converting from one management company to another, we are going to make a serious effort in pursuing collections against the delinquent accounts. Reserve spend, I know it's a little difficult to see, but we're under the plan. But I want to point out the bottom two items that is in yellow. These were reserve expenses that were not planned, but we had to do this year. One was for the salt cells for the pool, and the other is for water main breaks. So I just want to show everybody that this is an unplanned expense out of reserves. And that's my report. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
Any questions for Dave?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on. So the next item on the agenda is deal with violations. What I'm going to do is deal with the code of conduct violation as a single line item vote, and then we'll deal with the other violations as a group. So I would like to make a motion to fine account number 979-5271 MRC $100 for a code of conduct violation. Move the second.
I'll second.
Gina.
Any discussion on this violation? Dave, any comments or on this motion?
No comments.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor of assigning a penalty of $100 to account number 979-52711 MRC, $100 for code of conduct violation, please say aye.
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 So do we have, Stan, was that 9? Yes. Okay. All our ayes, Chuck.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Next item on violations is we have 3 accounts with a dirty roof. And I'm just going to read the account numbers once. Account number 979-52504 BBC. Account number 979-525-536B. And I lost that last letter. Apologize. C, BC. Thank you. And then the third one is account number 979-525-539 BBC. All 3 are for a dirty roof. $100 penalty for that violation. Do I have a second? Any discussion on these violations? All in favor assessing a $100 penalty on these 3 accounts for a dirty roof of violation, please say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. All right. Next item of business is provided as our general manager's report.
All right. This out of the way. I'd like to start off the topic of security. The CCPD schedule has been adjusted to 4 days a week, which includes the weekend and also a rotating day. That just started this week. This past weekend, CCPD and our security trespassed a juvenile who had damaged the fence at one of our dog parks. This was witnessed by the security guard and the detailed patrol officer, and this kid has been trespassed. There was damage to the fence. Unfortunately, we don't have video. There's just an assumption that it was part of the trespass. And the fence was repaired by our maintenance staff for minimal cost. Compliance this past week, actually past 2 weeks, have removed solicitors from the property. Last week was roofers. This week was windows. So thank you to the residents who notify us when this becomes a problem for us, and we immediately go out there and take care of it. There was a gate strike this past week. Resident not only struck the gate, struck the bar arm, but attempted to push through the gate with the vehicle. This was reported to the police. There is a police report, and the damages will be paid by the owner. The owner has been notified by the association as well as the CCPD. Also next week, unrelated to this particular gate, we will be closing the Pine Island Visitors Gate for repairs of a pothole that is right next to the visitor kiosk. It has to be dug up. There's some type of erosion going on there. It'll be closed for 2 or 3 days. They have to dig it up. They have to pack it in. They have to pour the cement. They've got to let it cure. So there will be signs similar to what we see at Halloween in advance of the closing that will direct visitors to the Veterans Gate. We will be blasting out emails on a daily basis, letting residents know that they should direct their visitors and contractors to the Veterans Gate. Next topic is the city of Cape Coral has hired a company to rebuild our lift stations, and that's very noticeable on the boulevard. They've been there for the last couple of weeks. This is causing partial road blockages, which I've put out in my general manager's report to be cautious. At this time of the year, not only do we have Blue Stream trucks out on the boulevard and Parkway, but we have the lift station guys that are working for the city of Cape Coral. By the way, we're not paying for that. They are. And you also have our landscaping. You have Juniper out there. So there have been times when one lane has been blocked off. I ask everybody to proceed with caution, be careful when going around these particular vehicles. They have to be there. It's not like there's another place for them to park, but it is something to be aware. And let's see, what else do I have? Tree trimming. Tree trimming has begun today. Anybody from Greendale Woodburn and bulk, we're starting off on bulk. They will finish up bulk and then they will move to the common area. They will be here for probably 3 weeks, weather permitting. And the other point I want to make is a little trivia question. We do have a tree inventory application that keeps track of all of our trees in the community. I don't know if this has ever been done before, but the trivia question is, how many trees do we have in the common area? Does anybody know? No? 2,666 trees in the common area alone, with 21 different varieties of trees. So this is courtesy of our inventory. This ties in correlation with Coastline, who's out there trimming the trees. Again, they're going to start in bulk. And on top of the trucks that we have with Blue Stream, the city, and now we also have Coastline out there. So again, the whole message here is just be careful moving from your house on the property. That's it for me. Any questions?
Any questions for the general manager? Okay.
One last thing, I will be on vacation next week for about 10 days. In my absence, my manager, look at Stan's raising his hand. I dubbed the assistant general manager.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you see the resolution to get you a satellite phone?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So there will be someone that will be available from Precedent. I have full confidence in the staff to be able to continue to do what they do at the top level. And if all else fails, they have Bill to fall back on. So I'll see you when I get back. Call me if you need me.
All right, very good. All right, moving on to new business. We have a person that has Nick Hernandez that has submitted an application to join the neighborhood rep group. I'm going to ask that we put that on hold because apparently since the agenda came out, we've been informed that there might be some work obligations that might not allow him to participate. So we're giving him a month to sort of sort this out, and we'll re-examine this at the next board meeting. Moving on to the next item of new business. Rob, would you like to make the motion for the architectural review guidelines?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'd just like to make a motion to approve the architectural guidelines that ARC committee has gone through, reviewed, and added all the things that were done and passed by the board over the past almost 2.5 years that were never placed in the documents. This is a complete set now, so everything is up to date. So I move that we approve that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any questions for Rob on the, yes,
Is it gonna go in the bylaw, rules and regulations as a new document?
Yes,
yes.
this is substitutes the one that's currently online. The whole thing gets replaced by this. This is the full thing.
Do we have what was added in, what was taken out?
I don't know if it's marked on it. No,
It's not marked on this version, but we added in all the approvals that were put in by the board over the last 2.5 years, like the
I knew it. I have a backlog of this, that has the highlighted what would change if you can't see it out there.
I think that we need that.
Well, everything that we put in here has already been passed by the board of directors. We did not add anything, did not change anything. It's all directly just copy and paste from board minutes into this new document as a total document to cover all the missing things that they had been passed and never added to the document that was online. So the residents didn't have the full picture of what is allowed and not allowed.
That's understood, but anytime you change any kind of rules and regulations and bylaws, you have to put them up against each other and you have to vote on them at that time. Showing a document that has been changed without any possibility of knowing what was changed is not acceptable.
If you want to pass it, you can.
Well, when we approved the bylaws last year, we did not follow that process, Stan. We just approved the clean copy of the bylaws. And I think the other thing that Rob has not mentioned is that in order to improve the readability of the document, it's been completely reformatted and the guidelines have now been alphabetized. So trying to do a line to line by comparison would be a little bit challenging because even the order of the requirements has changed in order to make it more legible going forward.
All right, duly noted. I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Dave O'Donnell, do you have any comments?
No comment. So if this does indeed pass the board today, the communication committee is authorized to republish it then?
Yes, and you will get the original Word version of this document so that when subsequent revisions are made, we'll have that in archive on Live Sandoval so that we can start from that to start much more clean red line tracking going forward.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor of accepting this revised ARC guidelines document, please say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. We have 5-4, 1 opposed. Chuck?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next item is under new businesses, the insurance waiver request. This is the board is being asked to approve a insurance limit waiver for a Paradise Pop company of $300,000. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Chuck, could you give us the background on this, please?
Yeah, this is a potential new vendor that has complied with all of our liability insurance requirements. Similar to what we do every month, it seems like, is they are limited in their auto insurance. So this is just a waiver of their responsibilities to have $1 million worth of auto insurance.
All right. Any questions for Chuck on this? All right.
Hey, Chuck, it's Dave O'Donnell. Quick question. What type of vendor are they?
It's a soda vendor. It's some kind of new a new thing that's going on that's popular with kids, adults, the whole thing. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds like it's like a mocktail kind of thing, or it's loaded with sugar. That would be great.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's something.
Could
Yeah,
it be a vendor participating in some of our events type of thing?
yeah, and it's not even a food truck. It's actually a table and a tent type of thing. Not a big it's not a big food truck. So
Fair enough. That's good. I appreciate it.
thanks.
Just wasn't sure what they were.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All those in favor of the approving the insurance limit waiver of $300,000 for Paradise Pop Company, please say aye.
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 None opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay. The next item is the asking for insurance limit waiver on auto insurance for Gilman Air Conditioning. They have $500,000 auto liability policy. Our requirements are $1 million. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chuck, could you give us background on this one too?
Oh yeah, this is our regular air conditioning vendor that's been here for a couple of years. Their current COI came up for renewal, and that's when we applied the new requirements to them. And they're at 500,000 when we require $1 million. This is similar to what we've done in the past.
Okay, any questions for Chuck on this?
Nope.
Okay. All those in favor of approving a waiver for Gilman Air Conditioning to accept auto liability coverage at $500,000, please say aye. Aye. None opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Dave. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of Steve Schisler to join the amenities committee. Can you make the motion, please?
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve Stephen and Schishler as new members of the ministry.
So your motion is for both applicants?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. Any questions for Rob on this, on these new members of the amenities committee? Okay. All those in favor of approving Steve and Ann Schisler to join the amenities committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Just moving on here. Okay. All right. I believe that ends new business, and we're going to move on to committee reports. The first report is going to be the safety and security traffic calming report. Lisa, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Give me a vote for
We have had our traffic calming signs, speed signs in effect for the last few months. So I just wanted to provide some updated information and a little bit of traffic data report.
Next one.
Oh, I'm sorry. So as an executive summary, we have a little background information, some key conclusions, what our next steps are, and then some data reports. Okay. As background to our speed signs, at the recommendation of the Safety and Security Committee, the board approved on January 30th, 2025 to purchase 2 traffic calming devices that monitor speed. They were installed on Sandoval Parkway on June 26th and Sandoval Boulevard on June 10th. Data has been gathered up through September 4th, and I've got a few slides that will show some extrapolation of that data. In general, by observation, so the Safety and Security Committee has basically gone out and kind of monitored these in person. The signs are effective in most cases in making drivers think and slow down. We see a lot of brake lights as people approach the signs, so that's a good thing. And in general, from the data, most drivers are obeying the speed limit and using caution within our community. The data will be collected and will be downloaded on a monthly basis and we'll evaluate it for trends. And additional sign locations will be considered pending the results of that data. The Safety and Security Committee will provide updated reports twice a year so that you can see what these signs are doing and why we have them in the communities. So from these pie charts here, this is a distribution of the average speed on the boulevard and the parkway signs. And what they indicate is that approximately 97% of incoming drivers on these 2 main thoroughfares are driving less than or equal to 30 miles an hour, with over 80% at or below our speed limit of 24. Taking a look at traffic volume by hour of the day, the aggregate data shows that the highest volumes on these roads are between 3 and 5 p.m., which does seem to make sense for people returning from work or school. And then looking at traffic speed by month, these are somewhat skewed because we've had some partial months of the signs in operation, but the rate of excessively high speeding has decreased each month the signs have been in operation. So our hope is that this trend will continue. And lastly, looking at traffic over 33 miles an hour, there is over 99% of traffic that is not over 33 miles an hour, so that is a good thing. So these signs are basically just serving as a reminder for people to drive carefully within our community. And as Chuck had mentioned with the trucks, I know it makes it a little complicated, but we do appreciate everyone obeying the speed limit within here. So thank you for that. And does anyone have any questions on the report?
Questions from the board? Okay, and then did I hear a question over there? Dave, how about you?
No questions for me, Bill. I'm good on that. Thank you, Lisa, for the report.
Okay, so my question is, Lisa, how are we this information is going to be distributed to the community, correct?
Yeah, every 6 months, correct?
Right, so this report is going to be sent out shortly to the community so they can see these results.
Yes,
Good.
yes, we will send that. So anyone not present will be able to see what these reports show, the data charts and
Right.
everything.
Yeah, because I think this was good because the two objectives with those signs were to try to motivate drivers to obey or stay close to the speed limit, and the second one was to collect data so that we could have a fact-based discussion about what shape we're in, so that if we wanted to talk about other things to do with speeding, we at least have the data to understand what the scope of the problem might be or may not be. So I think so far we're close to achieving those objectives.
I think so as well. We do welcome any feedback from the community if you have any input in regards to that.
I think they're great. I think they've been doing a good job.
Good.
Do you want this posted on the website?
Oh,
Yeah, and I think it might need a little explanation too, not just the charts.
okay.
So we can work on that just to sort of walk
Make it-
people through the data. Yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
So, and then just additional comments from safety and security. So as Chuck had mentioned, we have reduced the number of days of having the police on patrol here, just to be mindful of spending our dollars. But we will continue to monitor any activity. So we do have the option that we can either decrease it further or increase the days back if need be. We are also continuing our safety education campaign by sending out emails just with little reminders about safety and security in the community. So I welcome any feedback about those as well, and we will hopefully be having some events coming up pertaining to that too. And then we do also, just so everyone is aware, we have quarterly meetings with the Cape Royal neighbors, just so we can kind of communicate between each other, and especially with some of these issues with groups of youth, misbehaving in our community, that we can kind of keep in contact with them and see how they're addressing it, or if we can do anything mutually. And last but not least, if anyone would like to volunteer for safety and security, we welcome that because we just don't have too many people on here to be trying to coordinate some of our different activities that we would like to do. Okay, that is all.
Any other questions for Lisa? Okay.
One question, Dave has, yeah, I have a question real quick for Lisa on the security committee, and that is, do we know if the CCPD issued any speeding citations for excessive speeding or any other citations for traffic violations?
They cannot do specific traffic enforcement within the community without us having a full traffic study, which is approximately $30,000 to $40,000, as well as a DOT review and roadway implementation. So we are looking to address those types of issues in the roadway as reckless behavior, where they can issue citations, and we have had warnings. We have not had actual citations to date.
If I could add on to that, when I was on the traffic safety a couple years back, I went through the whole process of attempting to get a traffic study, and it is very expensive. And thanks to the signs, we see that we don't have a speeding problem either way. However, we did have a speeding problem, and we're able to get a traffic study. The traffic study will show us, let's say if we had a speeding problem, it shows us speedsters. However, the 24-mile-an-hour speed limit will be changed to 30 miles an hour to go with the city speed limits in the residential area. So we would essentially allow them to go from 24 to 30. CCPD will not write a ticket unless you're doing 6 miles over the speed limit at 36. So now we're going from 24 miles an hour to 36 miles an hour before a ticket can be written. That's what I got from my report that I did, and it just didn't seem feasible or smart at the time because we're just going to be allowing people to speed anyway. So it doesn't make any sense.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else on safety and security? Okay. All right. Internet construction oversight and contract compliance. Real quickly, right now, the construction phase of the project is a little bit over 50% completed. A good number of the streets have been completely wired with the new fiber, and they're continuing with the ongoing construction. In fact, they were on Lamb Bay today doing the or Land Bay this week, they were putting in the fiber build across the street, and then today they were concentrating on doing the fiber builds from the fiber line into each household. So they keep working, and as we mentioned before, if a homeowner identifies any issues, please contact Frank Hennigan and Val Zielinski, and they will do everything they can to advocate on your behalf to get these issues resolved. We continue to have weekly project review meetings with them, and our general manager has, I believe, meets with their on-site manager once or twice a week to monitor progress also. And just reiterate what Chuck said, please be mindful of all the construction signs on Sandoval Boulevard and Parkway, and anything you might see along the Esplanade while they're putting in the fiber. Okay, any questions? Okay. Communications Committee.
Hey, Bill, Dave here. We're in good shape. We're actively meeting every other month. No specific things to report, but we will be waiting for the go ahead green light to publish the ARC documents. I think that's our biggest thing on the agenda right now.
Okay, very good. All right, our committee report.
Yeah, everything's gone pretty normal. We've had about 18 applications in the past for the past month. Mostly approvals. We had a couple of denials last week, but they were minor. But everything's pretty much straightforward. And now that we get this document totally published, I'm sure it will help alleviate some of the mistakes that homeowners make because they don't know the difference. They don't know the proper regulation.
Okay. Any questions for Rob?
Nope.
Dave, you got any questions for Rob?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, Rules Committee. With Rules Committee, we are meeting next Tuesday, and we will be continuing our discussions about whether or not we're going to move forward with a recommendation to start revising the governing documents of the community. So if we want to go make that recommendation, that'll probably be presented at the October or November board meetings for the board to review that recommendation. Any questions? Okay. Social Committee.
Yes, me. All right, we're good. I want to thank you guys for coming in pickleball and tennis. You know, we haven't had anybody here in a long time, and it's really nice to see people show up and actually care. Either way, you know, like I played tennis, my kids play pickleball. Just want to see something good for the community moving up, and you know, we'll see Chuck put the camera up to see how many people play pickleball or not or tennis, so we'll be able to get the data from the camera that Chuck put up in order to see who's there. But other than that, the social committee is being run by Jessica the best possible way ever. The committee's full and the calendars are out. There's really nothing else I can bring up other than they're doing great things there for the young and the older, and you know, just keep going forward. Thank you.
All right. Any questions for Stan? Okay. Amenities? Do you have anything else to say?
I'm the only thing I'm going to say is that the pool is all set except for some of the on the water things that we had order stuff, and they'll come in eventually. The buckets and some of the spray heads that we put up, you know, temporary things till we can resolve the other issues. There have been a couple of things that we've shot for to put in the budget. New tables for in here, ones that are usable. The ones that we have are just way too heavy for everybody to operate. So we're looking into that, and we put in, you know, some requests for the budget, but and we haven't met one, so we'll probably meet in a few weeks to go over some other stuff. So
Okay. All right. Good. Any questions for Rob?
Is there any thought in? I think it's only $1,600 for the replacement tables.
I was gonna bring that up on the finance report.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Um,
Dave, dog park.
yes, I know. Dave, do you have any
Yeah.
dog park?
No big update, but we are still trying to dig out our old quotes on the benches and the tree counts, and I'm still trying to track that down with Diane, our secretary. So we don't have an update on that, but I should have one by next meeting.
All right. Any questions for Dave? Okay. Thank you. Lakes Committee.
Okay, the Lakes Committee, the next meeting is October 14th, and anybody wants to join us or wants to join the committee, we could use some more members. There's 25 lakes in the community and they're a functional stormwater system, so we could really use some more people on the committee. The new lake maintenance vendor, Premier Lakes, has been on site now for a couple of months. They're treating the lakes. Last week or the week before, they started going over the aeration system. That's the bubblers and the pumps and the fountain, and have found that the previous company was not doing a very good job maintaining them. Several of the pumps need to be replaced, and there's also an issue with the electrical work that's being done. Hit one of the compressors that affects 2 lakes, so we're working through issues with that. Shoreline repair for this year. Seabreeze is still monitoring the level of the lakes. The lakes have to be lower before they can start the shoreline repair, so it'll probably be later in the year before that's done. They have applied for the permits, so that should be able to proceed once the lake level is down. There's 2 lakes that'll be repaired this year. One complete lake, 19 will be one shoreline will be repaired, which is where it needs it most, and Lake 22 will be repaired this year. For next year, we still have to work with Seabreeze on, there's two lakes they have proposed, but I want to review that with them so that we're ready to do repairs next year, earlier in the year before the rainy season. Our next meeting, I said our next meeting, so any questions?
Okay. Thank you. Okay. John is not here, so we won't have a report on covenants. I do know that they had the covenants meeting last month, and will be scheduled with these violations that we approved today. Finance Committee.
All right, Finance Committee, the first thing I want to talk about are the tables for the Pelican Building. Finance Committee reviewed everything with Jessica and we recommended approval for the tables. The costs I don't have memorized. It's below $2,000, and it would be to replace these back killers when you try to move them. So I would like to make a motion that the board approve this expenditure. It'll come out of this discretionary reserve spend, and we can do it this year.
So do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor of replacing the tables, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, David. Okay.
The next thing, like I mentioned earlier, is that we have the audit complete. There's going to have to be some journal entries made to clean everything up. But I think moving forward with the auditor we have now and with the management company we have now, we shouldn't run into the issues that we ran into for 2024. We are finalizing the 2026 budget on October 9th. There will be a town hall meeting to review everything with the residents. And I do want to thank the Finance Committee for the time and effort they put in working on the budget because we're meeting weekly for the last 6, 8 weeks to get it done. So that's it for finance. Does anybody have any questions?
Dave, was there any surprises in the audit?
Did
you find $100,000 and you know that?
Nah, I don't think we found $100,000, but we're getting things put into the right GLs and getting everything straightened out on the balance sheet.
I think, and unfortunately, Rob, we're also getting this feedback from other communities that had worked with the same previous management company. There's a lot of, I don't want to say sketchy, but probably not accurate bookkeeping done. So our auditor had to do essentially especially with the precedent finance team, essentially had to do a lot of forensic bookkeeping to get our books in shape, which is very disconcerting. What we had to do. Also, I think to be charitable, it appears that our previous auditor wasn't as diligent as identifying these issues to us, so we didn't have an opportunity to really sort of drill down on these issues earlier than this year. So we had sort of a double whammy there. Okay. Anything else, Dave?
Landscaping. Oh, finance? Nope.
Okay. Landscaping.
Landscaping. We made a change that we are only going to meet the first Wednesday of each month. We were meeting the first and third Wednesday, but things have been going fairly well, and we didn't feel it was necessary. We still keep on top of them once a week. A member of the committee rides around with the account manager to review everything and see how things are going. And I believe Chuck meets with the account manager also on a as needed basis to go over any issues he sees. But overall, the community is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
The restoration for 2025 has been completed. And like Chuck mentioned, we now have a tree inventory that is a combination of drone footage and Excel spreadsheets identifying the exact location of where everything is. So that's going to help us moving forward. A, to keep the tree trimmers honest when they tell us how many trees they're going to trim, and B, to identify any trees that may come down because of a storm. So, and that's about it for landscaping. Any questions?
All right. Thank you. Okay. Risk management. Couple key things to talk about from a risk management perspective. We are currently conducting a revaluation of the current vendor liability policy. I will be proposing some revisions to the policy for the board to consider at the next meeting. This is based on industry feedback from insurance agents, and once we complete a legal counsel with the proposed to review the proposed changes. So my plan is to have that in front of the board for consideration for the October meeting. We are starting to review our current insurance policies in anticipation of Q1 2026 renewals. As part of this, we have, from conversations that we've conducted with industry professionals, that in our current liability policy, we have identified an exclusion that may negate the insurance company paying on a liability claim. This was not a exclusion that we understood that was there. It was buried way deep in the text. So right now we've initiated a process to see if there's an option to replace the current policy with a new policy that no longer has this exclusion in it. And we'll be trying to get quotes for that to be effective to try to have a new policy in place by early November. Any recommendations along these lines will be reviewed with the board and will require board approval at the next meeting. So questions on that? Okay. Dave?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is concluded. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
anybody want to
If anybody wants to talk, let's talk. All right. Okay. Hey, Lefties.
No.
Sure, we can talk here. Okay.